as we say, with everything that's going on, we need more New World guides into the world that are actually guiding people to really step into their own purpose and their own light. Which brings me into, when you think about New World guides and you think about people that really are making a difference in the world, Bill and I reconnected the last HIT Talks where I had a divine download saying, go and reach out to Bill. We hadn't spoken since, we hadn't fallen out, I think, don't worry, but we hadn't spoken since we were in Fiji together, like over 5 years ago. And it's amazing when connections are rekindled. And then when you hear the stories and, you know, you have all the business acumen, but now it's following a life of passion, it's following a life of purpose, and doing it with somebody you love to change other people's lives. Is that hope, inspiration, and transformation? It is to me. So anyway, Bill, thank you so much for being back with us. And I now give you your 8 minutes, my friends.
Thank you, Vikki. Always an honor and a privilege to be working with you, and I appreciate the opportunity more than you know. Tonight, I want to talk to you about mental fitness, and I also want to give you an experience of mental fitness. And so that's my purpose for this evening in the context of hope and transformation and really having an opportunity to really step into this. The world has been throwing a lot of curveballs at us lately, hasn't it? It's just pretty crazy. And I will tell you that I've had the most incredible year of my life this year, despite COVID-19, despite all the challenges that have come up. And I attribute it to this thing called mental fitness. So what is mental fitness? Mental fitness is your ability to respond to life's challenges with a positive rather than a negative mindset. In the last few speakers, you've heard about light and the interconnectedness of all beings and all that's there, which is beautiful. What I want to share with you tonight is the ability to access your own internal power so that when you're feeling hijacked or negative emotions, you can immediately switch out and experience positivity. One of the things that I do is I help other speakers get ready for these types of events. And one of the biggest challenges, you have all these brilliant people in front of you tonight. And one of the most challenging things for a speaker is to be like in that place where they're neutral. Because most people are excited or they consider it nervousness. And they're like, ah. And why is that? Because we have our negative self-talk coming up. You know, we have our judge. You'll never be good enough. There's nothing you can say here that's going to matter to anyone. Right? We have all kinds of negative self-talk that shows up at exactly the wrong moment. So I'm going to share with you what I do, and hopefully it supports you, because this is something you can do at any time, anywhere, any place. And so, like I said, I'd like to give you the experience of mental fitness so you can do it right along with me. So there's two ways we're going to access this. The first is to take your finger and your thumb and just rub two fingers together with such fine attention to detail that you can feel the fingertip ridges as you move it back and forth. And just notice what's happening in this moment as you're rubbing two fingers together is you're dropping back in your body. You're getting out of your head and into your heart. Now, this is the tactile version. Another version you've heard, mindfulness, breathing. Just something as simple as a few key breaths allows you to take in and release. And there's so many ways to access mental fitness. But what it does for you is it allows you to get off of a negative thought and embrace a positive one. So rather than feeling nervous about public speaking, I can access my truth, that I'm here to share something that I know will resonate with people. And in the context of resonating that truth, I'm able to support other people to drop into their bodies and to understand that whatever's happening in this moment, the more I can be present to the moment, the more I can respond from a sage perspective rather than one as a saboteur. This has changed everything for me. I learned a lot of great insights from Tony Robbins, as Vikki has been sharing. We've had a great opportunity to do some great work together in Fiji. It was fun. I loved it. But there's a distinction between actually doing a transformational weekend and then the daily practices that will allow you to access this feeling and this experience anytime, anywhere. And as you start to really step into it, you realize that when somebody's angry and they're yelling at you, right? Can you stay neutral? Can you stay present? And can you really see that the person is in need of support? Tony Robbins used to say that there's only two types of communication in this world: a loving response and a cry for help. Well, I look around me today and I see a lot of cries for help. And it's really beautiful that I can stay in the space of possibility to see what someone actually needs by not getting activated myself. If someone fell overboard, right, and they needed support, would they say, "Excuse me, would you please give me a life raft or a life preserver?" No, they'd be freaking out. Rah! And this is how people are feeling right now. There's a lot of pain that people are experiencing. And so when you can do your own mental fitness and drive yourself back into your body, get out of your head and into your heart, you can be present to what's happening in the moment. And in doing that work, you're actually making the world better. Because what people want more than anything else is to feel heard. They want to know that they matter. You know that you matter. Part of you does anyway. And there's another part that's questioning your worth. Those are your saboteurs. And what we get to do is not listen to them. We can experience like you're putting a hand on a hot stove. Ow! And then you're off it. And the ability to do that comes from your ability to build your mental muscles. And so as you work together in this space, what you're actually doing is you're giving a space for others to express themselves and not feel judged, but instead to feel heard and to feel validated. And think about what that would be like. Instead of having these giant gaps in the world, us, them, red, blue, right? All the distinctions here. If we're really connected to the interconnected oneness of our being, it's about really being present with other people and holding a space so they really do understand that they're being heard and that they matter. We need not think alike to love alike, right? Famous quote. And the interesting thing about that is when we live into that way, understanding that we may not agree mentally with what we are saying, but we can love alike. We can truly be in this space of possibility. So that, my friends, is what mental fitness is all about. My goal is to make mental fitness as important as physical fitness. We teach our kids physical education and spend very little time helping them take control of their minds, to quiet the negative self-talk and step into their own positive associations. And so if I can leave you with this, the act of doing mental fitness, breathing, connecting, listening, using your senses, anything to do that drops you back in your body and stay fully present, that by itself is healing the world and creating transformation, one person at a time. Thank you. I appreciate you.
Thank you, Bill. Mental fitness, but what I loved, one person at a time. That's the thing. Transformation, given hope, given inspiration, one person at a time. And there's a ripple effect, isn't it? That's the thing. We are energy, aren't we? So it reminds me of the serenity prayer, which you can't really change anybody around you, but you have the wisdom to know that the one person that you can change is yourself. That's the short version of it. So thank you so much for sharing that, Bill.